What up? What up? Happy Thursday. It is 1 o'clock. A little bit late today. Had a really busy morning. We had two listing appointments and 2 hours of prospecting and a coaching call and a lot of different calls. But anyway, it's been a really good day. Happy Thursday, everyone. What's up, Tara? Batchus does it all. What's up? Susan, what's up? Anastasia, what's up? Luke, what's up? Alex. All right. So I'm going to bring on Alex Rubow, the second agent on my team. She is killing it on expired and canceled calls. Newer agent, been around for about a year, came from another team, and already booked 3 appointments on her first week of making calls. A freaking badass. So I'm going to bring her on, and we're going to talk about our business. So Alex, here we go. She's coming on right now. Let's see here. Alex, accept. What's up?
Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. I haven't done one of these things before. I'm feeling the nerves.
All right, good. It's all good. We have Tara on here, so don't worry. She was on here last week. We also have our newest, our next agent, Katie Jack, who's also on KJ Sales LA. We have 8th Vision Media. What's up? Claudia Ematos Real Estate. Ruya is on as well.
Sure.
Ruya is freaking hilarious, by the way.
Yeah.
She posted a photo of me and Tara geo farming at a $21 million house in Brentwood. That was hilarious.
I could see that. That was funny.
Yeah. So I apologize for being late. I had a long coaching call with Tara, which is great, and a busy morning. Alex booked 3 listing appointments in 1 week.
Woo.
So good job. So obviously that is one of your superpowers, is you're good on the phones. So let's talk about, you've been in business for how long? 3 years-ish?
On about 3 years, full time, about 1.5 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you started real estate while you were in college, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
true.
what got you into real estate?
What got me into real estate? Well, I grew up in Laguna Beach with my mother, and I had 4 other siblings, and we moved, every single year, sometimes even 6 months. So I got to, I had the opportunity to see all these homes in Laguna, and I was just so fascinated with, architecture, and then I started to love interior design, and just everything about real estate is so fascinating, and it's also not only that, but it's also a good investment. So there's so many cool things about it,
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So.
And you can make a ton of money.
Exactly.
That's just another small little perk about real estate.
Yeah.
You can make as much as you want, right?
Yeah.
So you're really big into personal growth, which is what attracted me to you in terms of not hiring you, but just bringing you on the team.
Mm-hmm.
I really like that about you. So tell us about that journey, because I think that's also really interesting.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely, I definitely practice my, every day. I have to, priming is really important to me. I have to, the first thing I do in the morning is, coffee. I meditate. I'll do a visualization. I'm always trying to find new ways to improve, myself. I always want to be better. I always want to do better. Yeah.
That's great. Yeah. I mean, I wasn't like that at your age at all. I was just out there partying, and having and having a good time. But guys take a little bit longer to mature than women. But I'm very much into personal growth right now, ever since probably 3 years ago when I met my girlfriend. And I love it. I've started to see so many signs of how this stuff works, and it's pretty fascinating. 3 years ago when I met her, I was on a team, and I was making a lot less than I was making now, and I just wasn't really happy with my job. I was just like, wasn't that exciting.
Mm-hmm.
But now it's exciting. I'm growing my team. I love hanging out with you guys. You guys are awesome, all of you. And I feel like we're just a great team. Like we all like each other. I mean, it's still obviously pretty new, so we're still kind of in the honeymoon phase.
Mm-hmm.
But it's great. I love it.
So.
Huh?
I said we're not sick of each other yet.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So who else is on? We got Michael on. We got Gift Lux Company. We got Janet Medina Realtor. JD River, what's up? Lynn, Susan, Mountain Dream Homes. Oh, actually, somebody did submit a question, and I sent it to you on Slack.
Yeah.
What did they ask?
They asked, what do you recommend for a new agent jumping into the luxury market?
Mhm.
That's huge. So what I did to jump into the luxury market, I would, I was on Instagram and flipping through, and I started following all these top agents in the areas that I wanted to be in. And so I started to reach out to all these agents to see if, they're looking for, maybe an assistant, or, to see if I could just shadow them. I was finishing up my degree at LMU, and I wanted to just jump in and get my feet wet and see what I can learn. So I think definitely joining a team, number one, that's huge, because as a new agent, it's so competitive in LA.
Yeah.
So you want to use the power of the team, to kind of boost yourself and put yourself out there. And,
Yeah.
you can use, their solds and history and things like that to,
Yeah.
give you more credibility.
Yeah,
So
for
I would
sure.
say joining a team, or finding a mentor, someone that's been, in real estate for a while. That's key.
100%, 100%. There's no real playbook in real estate that you can
Mhm.
find online. Like being like a dentist or a doctor or like a lawyer, you just go to school and there's like a playbook. You do these things and you'll become a doctor or a surgeon or whatever. But for real estate, there's so many different aspects to the business, which is why it makes this industry so much fun, right? There's so many different ways to make a lot of money. And I really, when I send out the email blast to whatever 10,000 agents in LA looking for an agent to join my team, you actually reach out to me via Instagram, and that was smart because I had from that email blast I probably had 30 applications, right? So even though your application was very good and probably would have already reached out to you, but now you are now in my mind. You reach out to me on my personal Instagram, not my business one, which is smart.
Mm-hmm.
And you sent me a message, hey, I just sent you a resume, would love to chat, and then we got on the phone the next day. So that was awesome. I mean, I think it's smart if you are looking to join a team, and you're a new agent, they may not be looking for new agents, but if you get in front of that team leader, the like me for instance, and you say, hey, like I really want this position, I really like the way you work, I really want to join your team, like I want to hire somebody like that. I want to hire somebody who's really hungry and who's willing to do things that are uncomfortable to to grow the business. Because if you grow your business, Alex, you're going to grow my business, right? And so I'm giving you my resources, my experience, my help, and in turn, you're also giving me as well. So it's a great synergy between most of these teams. How I help you and you also help me.
Right, right, totally. I agree.
So we got Lizette Aguilar. What's up, Alyssa? These may be a lot of your friends. I'm not sure.
Maybe.
Crystal. Um,
Taylor.
yeah. So Lynn says it does work. Stay focused and manifest.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed.
Yes.
Agreed. I have a vision board over here, and I have a photo that I cropped myself in, and it was just like I just googled real estate team, and it was like a team leader, and then the operations manager, and like 4 or 5 other agents, and I chopped off my head and I put it on this guy's body, and I put my logo on top, and now I have a team. That's crazy. Like it's like, and I have all these cool things on my vision board, and little by little, I start attracting these things over time,
Yeah.
and your brain starts to find ways to get you to that point. It's amazing uh, how smart your subconscious is. We have no idea it's kind of working in the background, but it's totally working for like opportunities, right?
Yeah.
So what are you doing in terms of mindset? Obviously, you said that you do like your whole morning routine, but besides that, like you're obviously big on this kind of stuff. Like,
Yeah.
do you have like a vision board?
I do have a vision board. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it definitely needs some updating. I haven't had time to get around to that, but what works for me is visualization. There's so much power in that. And even this last week, I have a goal with you to set 3 appointments every week.
Yeah.
And so I had 2 last week, and I was like, okay, I need 1 more. And I just, for a minute, if I'm not feeling, when I'm cold calling, if I'm not feeling good energy, I kind of have to shut it off and like close my eyes and visualize a good outcome, and it happening, and and playing our song or whatever I have to do I'll have a song once we set an appointment. So I have to get my energy right and flowing, and just ready to open, to receive. So that's number one, is energy for me. I have to be on the right frequency to receive.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
know.
And I sent you a text. I said, Alex, you have an hour before a coaching call,
Yeah.
set your third appointment. And
Yeah.
like 20 minutes before, you're like, I set an appointment. I was so excited for you. I was like, play your song.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's huge for me is, you know, if I don't wake up in the morning, if I don't get a workout in, if I don't meditate or do some breath work, I have to be like, my energy just has to be right. That's just me.
Yeah.
That's what works for me, you know, and I don't get the greatest phone calls if I don't do that.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's, you know, visualization. I do write my journal sometimes, you know, gratitude and things like that. And, you know, when I write my gratitude journal, I'll say things like they already happened.
Yep.
I'm grateful for, you know, 3 appointments I set this week. So I'll write it like it happened already. So
Yeah, no, for sure. That's my previous coach, Mary Jett, who's now the head of coaches at Tom Ferry. She's a badass. She
yeah.
always told me that. She's like, Paul, the way you're writing your goals for next year, this is not the way you write it. You have to say, you know, like I am $1 million GCI agent, or like whatever. I have sold $52 million in real estate, right?
Yeah.
It's crazy how it works. It sounds kind of like voodoo-ish, but
It does.
it works. Yeah, yeah.
We'll never understand, but it, you know, it's
You got to try it and believe it, and then you'll start seeing how it works. But it definitely does work.
yeah.
I want to have a shout out to Helen. She's one of my best clients, Helen Babst. She's on here. What's up, Helen? Tara says LOL. I'm not sure what she's mentioning there. Kelvin Kingsley, what's up? So okay, so you have a superpower, which is you're really good on the phones, right? So before I met you, you told me that you had set, I think, 13 appointments in a year, which is not bad, right? That's one a month. And the first week of calling, you did 3, which is crazy, right? Because that's going to be 12 per month, and that's 144 in a year. That's a little bit more than your last year.
Oh, for sure.
You know, at this rate, which you'll just get better. So what? Besides the whole visualization, all that stuff, I'm talking about skill sets that you can help out other agents that are watching this. Skill sets that make you good or that help you get the appointment.
Okay. I would say definitely, you know, role playing is huge.
Yeah.
Definitely find a role play partner.
Yeah.
Be sharp and, you know, quick when they have, you know, their objections. That's huge. Definitely practicing a lot. I would say, you know, having a strong voice, you want to exert confidence, because no seller is going to want to use a weak agent because you're representing them. You're trying to get them the best and highest price or whatever it is. You want to sound like an expert. You want to know the market. You know, there's all kinds of scripts that you can follow, but you definitely want to sound like yourself. You don't want to sound like a robot. That's huge. And
tone is important. Yeah,
tone is important. You know, at the beginning of cold calling for me, I felt like I was more of like I sounded more salesy and like a robot. You definitely don't want to sound like that. So over time, I just kind of found my way with it, and, you know, just being yourself and, you know, having fun with it and like laughing with the sellers. And something that, you know, I find, you know, that helps me is to just really tune into the sellers, you know, wants and needs.
For sure. And listen, because we're so much into our scripts that we forget to listen. So they say, oh yeah, you know, we were looking to buy in, like, I don't know, in Florida, you know, after we sell. And then you ask some other random question that makes no sense. And then they're like, all right, this person isn't even listening to you because you're just nervous on the call. And listen, that's normal. You know, when you first start making phone calls, it took me 2 months to get my first listing after calling 2 hours a day for 2 months. I finally got my first listing, and I think that was like my 3rd listing appointment. So I was not good in the beginning, you know. So all these things is just a skill set that you just get over time. But there's a formula, you know. Learn your scripts, make them your they're like your own. So like obviously, you know, Tom Ferry's got scripts, Mike Ferry's got scripts. They're all online. They're really easy to find. But make them your own. So just change a few words that sound like you, so that when you say them, you don't sound like a robot. Because if you don't feel like they're like you, then you're not going to say them in the right tone. I think for you, Alex, the reason why you're good is because you do, you know, at least when I've met you and I've talked to you, you just sound like a person that really cares, right? And I think that comes off on the phone somebody who really wants to help the other person out. And I think that's really, really important.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I mean, like last week I had this call with Suja. We had a
Yeah.
list last week, and
Yeah.
she, saying she has bad credit and she wants to buy another house. But first she needs to sell her house. But she can't buy a house with bad credit. So I started figuring on, what can we do to help her? We can bring in a credit repair specialist. Just, how can we do to help? What can we do to help you is my number one. So
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you have a seller and you have an agent, and then right in the middle is you have a big problem, right? And so now we're trying to solve that problem, whatever it is. If it's not selling their house, like, okay, why was it on the market? What are they looking to do? For her, it was, she wanted to have a smaller mortgage, right? But she can't buy it because she has bad credit. So we got to fix her credit first. And then after that, we got to get her pre-qualified, and then we can find her a house. But then we got to figure out what's her net and how much she can afford. So it's all these different things that this is why we're here. We're here to serve people, and if that's how we exude ourselves in our conversation, then they're gonna believe us. They're like, all right, this person wants to help us out, and that's the most important part. People are gonna hire who they feel comfortable with, who they like. They're not gonna hire the guy or the girl that sells the most in the area. They're gonna hire the person that they like at the end of the day.
And the ones that they connect with, and they should buy, and all these things. So it's just connect with them and make them feel heard, and and you'll win them over in a heartbeat.
Yeah, for sure. So talk about, okay, so a couple things. One, I want to talk about the social styles, which you're learning right now. And then I want to talk about the shift in mindset from making the calls and how you went from booking 13 appointments in a year to booking 3 in a week with me in your first week. What was that shift?
Oh my gosh, it was the smallest shift, but it was a total game changer. So really the goal of every phone call is to set an appointment.
Yep.
And that's it.
Yep.
So
before what was your goal?
My goal is to just connect with people, and I had great conversations all the time, but I wasn't getting these appointments. So being on your team, you're like, you need to get an appointment. Like if they're not ready to sell now, just get an appointment.
Yeah.
And so that's changed everything. So.
Just a small piece. And when you told me that, I was like, oh, I got this. Like, all you got to do is just do this, and it's like, you've already shown that, like, wow, like that one thing, like you took it and you're actually, implementing it. Right. Yeah. So you've done an amazing job. So I just want to say, I'm really proud of you, and keep it up, because, even though the appointments that we have gone on aren't really motivated sellers. Let's be honest. I mean, they're way overpriced. They're just not realistic. But it's okay. We're setting appointments. We're starting the relationship. And, the guy today, he's looking for a house up to $12 million. So you find him that place. Now he will be more motivated 100%. Right. So now you have a $12 million sale plus a $3.5 million sale. So you're looking at $15 million worth of real estate sales in one phone call that you made. And listen, that's not going to be easy, right? That's not going to be easy. I'm sure he's got other agents looking for properties, but you can do it.
Yeah.
You can do it. So I'm looking forward to that sell with this guy.
Sure. Same here.
All right. So let's talk about the social styles. I think it's really, really important, especially when you're a salesperson of any kind, car sales, real estate sales, whatever kind of sales you're in. Learning the social styles are really, really important. So tell me what you've learned about them.
So I haven't started that book yet, but from what I know there's, based off of personalities, people are more, there's numbers people, or there's, amiables,
analyticals.
Analyticals, yes. And then
numbers.
The numbers.
Yeah. They're gonna give you short answers. Drivers want a bigger picture. They don't want the details.
Yeah.
You have expressives, who are talkative people, kind of like you and I, kind of personable, like to talk, and, kind of like to influence. And then you have the amiables, which are a little more shy, a little more reserved. They're not going to make a decision without getting help from others. Right. So I've recommended all my agents to buy the book, The Social Styles Handbook. You can get it on Amazon. Social Styles Handbook. My coach recommended it. I read it. Phenomenal book. If you guys want my notes on it, send me a DM. I'll send you a copy of all my notes on this. It's a really, really good book. I just read the whole thing and I just wrote all the important notes down, at least for me. But I still obviously, want you to read it so that, you get the full feel of like how that works and how that can help you close different types of personalities. Because when you're dealing with an analytical, Alex, it's going to be like night and day. Like you're not going to even know what the fuck they're like thinking, because they're completely different. They're on the opposite spectrum. There's 4 quadrants. So you have on the top left, you have analyticals. On the bottom right, you have expressives like you, right? So if you're diagonal from this quadrant, that's the hardest person to close, unless you know how to close them based on the book. Same with amiables and drivers; they're the opposite. So if you're an amiable, it's really hard for you to close a driver, and vice versa. So those are a couple things. What would you recommend to a new agent like yourself that is kind of in a rut? Because that's where you were at, right? With your old team, you were kind of like, do I stay in the industry? Do I change careers? Do I change teams? Do I go on my own? What do you recommend for somebody like that?
Yeah, I mean, I felt so stuck with where I was before. I wasn't, I've set like so many appointments, and we would go to, listing appointments, but we would never get the deal. I would say either, talk to agents out there and ask for advice. Like I'm doing, tell them what you're doing and see what they have to tell you. Number 2, I mean, maybe, join a new team, join a team, join a good team. And make sure that you're learning from them, because you're not going to go anywhere if you're not learning. That's huge. You want to be put, for sure.
Always learning. Yeah. Always growing, no matter what. I'm still 15 years in the business. Every single day I'm like, oh, I should have done this better, or I should have done that better, or I got to add that to the workflow, or
yeah, exactly. I agree. Yeah, I mean, I felt like I came to a dead end point with where I was before, and I just needed something new. I felt like I wasn't learning at all. And so then that's when I found you, and, you were so successful with cold calling, and you've been in the industry for 15 years. And so, you just got to get outside of your comfort zone and see what else is there, and talk to agents. People want what they do.
Yeah, so. For sure. Getting outside of your comfort zone, that's a good point, because that was not me for 13 years, and I'm not shy to like talk about it, because I'm in a different spot in my career now and in my life, but I was so in my comfort zone. So in like, I don't want to do that. It's scary. Like, I don't even like I won't even try even get close to like learning expires. I was like, I don't want to do that. That sounds horrible. Getting on the phone? No way. I didn't mind doing open houses. But getting out of your comfort zone is so, so important if you want to grow and be successful in anything in life. If it scares you, then don't shy away from it. Seek it out. Seek it out. Understand it. Why am I feeling scared about this? Yeah. We got somebody, A Lupo says, this was exactly what I'm thinking to do. Join a team. I'm pretty new in real estate. That's awesome. Let me know if you guys have any questions. I actually have to head out in a few minutes to go to a listing appointment that rescheduled for this afternoon. But Alex, thank you so much for joining. Hold on. So I was like, where do I start? What do I do? Now I have my answers to the question. Thank you for the answer. Oh, that's nice. Well, we are glad to help out. And if you guys have any questions, DM Alex. She's always happy to help out, or DM me. I try to respond as fast as possible. Sometimes you might have to, message me twice or 3 times, and then I'll respond. But I always like to help out. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out to us and ask us any questions. Alex, what is your goal for 2022 in terms of GCI, in terms of commissions, income?
250. I feel like that's low for what I can do on your team. I feel like, I feel like there's no limitations being on your team. So
yeah, there isn't.
A good number to start with.
Yeah.
Hope within the next couple of years.
All right, good. I like that. So 250, we're going to hold Alex to that for next year, $250,000, and that's on her own. That means she has to sell 500. Well, I don't want to give out the split, but that's a me and you conversation. but that means that you have to sell more than you would on your own. But the value that we bring as a team is great because you're learning. And I'm the kind of team leader that I know after 4 or 5 years you're gonna go on your own and you're gonna build your own thing, and I'm excited for that. So I want to help you and Tara and Ruya and Katie Jack. I want to help you guys grow your business so that one day you're gonna go on your own and be successful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Thanks, Paul. I'm so grateful to be a part of your team. It's been
Thanks, Thank you. Thanks for joining. I appreciate it. I know it was your first IG live and you did amazing. Thank you so much. All right. All right, guys. I'll see you next week. I will be in Maui. I may do an IG live at the beach. I don't know. Maybe I will. Maybe I won't. If not, I will be here in 2 weeks with Ruya from China. Came here and as an 18-year-old with not knowing anybody. This year sold a $36 million sell, more than my highest record. So she's going to be on in 2 weeks from now. I'm super excited to interview her. Ruya, I know you don't know about this, but you're going to be on in 2 weeks.
She's a boss.
Yeah, she is. She's a boss for sure. Yeah. All right, guys. Have a good one. Thanks, Alex.
Bye, guys. Bye, Paul.
Bye. Bye.